Hey guys, welcome to episode number 2 of this thing that is not currently a podcast but might eventually evolve to be a podcast. I said we were talking. I feel like last week's episode was kind of like the bridge from what this channel was to what it's going to be, but we're still not quite there.
It's a longer bridge.
It's a very long bridge, yes.
We don't know the length of the bridge.
Okay. It's an unknown length of bridge.
But we're still on the bridge.
We're still there. And eventually we will have a name and maybe some music and the actual intro.
Yeah. Assuming the bridge doesn't just stop
Microphones.
in the middle somewhere.
Yes.
It actually gets...
Unless we fall off the bridge.
Or that, yeah.
So, eventually this will be a little bit more professional. For now, it's just us. And...
It'll still be just us if it is more professional, probably.
It'll be us, but it might look more professional or sound more professional.
Yeah, maybe.
Either way, it's just us. Okay, so
Okay, so you were going to tell me, last week, you said... Oh, you were talking about Disney Princess quiz.
Yes.
And you couldn't figure out who I would be as a Disney princess?
No, I was going to get you to fill out the survey.
Oh, right.
The quiz, but we didn't.
No.
But I did figure out who you would be.
Okay.
And... Would you have any guesses who you think you would be?
Well, Disney Princess, I haven't really thought of it.
Me neither.
Well, me less so.
I only know the basic ones. I don't know any of these new ones. I don't know. Yeah. But I think,
I feel like either way it's going to be insulting, so...
I feel like Cinderella. Because... Do you want to know why?
Yes, please.
Or do you want to say that is insulting? I think because you are hardworking, you don't complain. That makes me think of Cinderella. And you talk to mice.
That has happened once.
Oh.
There was a mouse in my office. I probably talked to it.
Probably.
It was in there for several hours before I could finally figure out a way to chase it out.
You don't sing with the birds?
No, I don't think I've done that.
Okay. Yeah, that's the princess I came up with.
I don't really know how to take that.
If you had to be a princess, a Disney princess, personality-wise.
It's a really weird question, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh, and I figured out what a meerkat, how it is categorized. Did I tell you?
No.
It is a cat-like carnivore in the suborder of cats. So it is not a rodent, it is a cat.
Technically a cat.
Yeah. So.
I guess meerkat, I guess. It's
yeah, but they look like gophers, or...
True. Okay, so question for you. You obviously have a YouTube... You have several YouTube channels.
A few.
Primarily talking about books in one of them. Who do you... What kind of YouTube channels do you watch?
Well, I do watch a bunch of book ones. But then I kind of joined YouTube not really having watched YouTube beforehand.
Yeah, because I liked to watch YouTube. And then you were just like, oh, I'll make a YouTube channel.
Yeah. Without really watching any... Actually, I did for a bit there before I started a YouTube channel. I watched one YouTuber, Is Harris.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It's like travel vlogs, pretty much. And I just wanted to go all the places that she went. That was the one YouTuber I watched before having a YouTube channel. Now I do watch a lot of booktubers, and then apparently I have a fascination with large family YouTubers. I don't have a desire to have a large family, I'm talking 8+ kids.
Oh wow. Okay.
One of them has 8, one of them has 9 or 10. Well, 2 of them have 9 or 10. So I don't know why, but I find it fascinating, I guess. So those are the YouTube channels I watch. You told me about at least some of them, and the way they live their life is interesting. Yeah. Just for and other reasons. 2 out of the 3 have adopted, and all 3 of them homeschool, and 2 of them they work together as a couple doing, I don't even know how they make money, honestly, different things. And so I find their lifestyle fascinating. Yeah. Not necessarily the number of kids, but apparently the
just goes along with the lifestyle.
It does. I don't know. Now we're up to 5 kids, so who knows?
Who knows? Who knows
where we go from here?
I think we discussed last time that we don't. So.
Yes, that is true. Unlike Shania Twain, we are not going up, up, up. Do you know the song?
Vaguely, yes. But in numbers, currently we are.
Well, I think we're good now.
Okay. graphical.
What kind of YouTube channels do you watch?
I like all over the place. Actually, you mentioned Is Harris. I've watched some of Johnny Harris's stuff
Like her
recently.
husband?
Yeah, her husband.
Oh, I'm not subscribed to him anymore.
I don't know if I'm subscribed to him, but every once in a while, like he doesn't put out stuff very often, but it's all really in depth and like it's very documentary style. So I like a lot of documentary style
Right.
channels.
Nerd
On like
channels.
all kinds of random topics. Like I don't really care what the topic is a lot of the time. It's just interesting information.
Yeah, because he does like, it's a lot of border countries, right? He talks
He
a lot about
used to
that.
do that.
He doesn't do that anymore.
Not as much anymore. I don't think trying to remember. He's had like a recent one on Russia, Ukraine, that kind of stuff, and I'm trying to remember. But it's not like because he had that Vox Borders series for a while, which was all about that kind of thing. But yeah, some of his stuff was quite interesting.
He puts a lot of work into it.
Yeah.
You like channels that spend a lot of time producing just a few videos, right?
And it's very well researched and also very well produced, which is it's pretty good. But then I like a lot of like maker channels, which I feel like if I was 12 and had watched these channels, I probably would have wanted to get into that type of engineering, design, that kind of thing, where like Stuff Made Here I think is one of them, and often they just make weird, mostly pointless things, but it's just interesting to see the process and like the knowledge that they have in order to make like a basketball hoop that you can't miss on, or there's another guy who tries to replicate a lot of like the superhero power stuff in real life, and it's just kind of funny and entertaining, and also impressive amount of skill to put stuff together.
Well, you made some pretty intense like cardboard creations as a kid. Like
I think I peaked though at like grade 6.
What was it? Like it was like a pop dispenser.
Apparently, a pop machine
Yeah.
needed a cardboard. I don't even remember.
Oh,
I
my mom-
vaguely remember it.
We
but-
have it on VHS because you used it in that VBS
Yes.
that one year.
Yeah.
Yes, we have video proof. Whether or not we can watch it anymore, I don't know.
Okay.
But we do have video
Wow.
proof of it.
See that?
It was very
my
impressive.
engineering skills kind of just peaked at
10 years
cardboard.
old.
And yeah, but I enjoy watching. Like I watched a video from a chemist making, and I know like zero about chemistry.
You didn't even
I didn't
take
take chemistry in high school because I didn't like physics. I like that chemistry wasn't my thing, but I watched this video on this guy turning cotton balls into cotton candy.
Oh yeah, you said
So he like broke down the pieces of the cotton balls, got like all of the right elements or whatever, and was able to make cotton candy, which didn't taste very good apparently. But
Well, I thought cotton candy was just okay. Well, I don't know.
well, it is just sugar. So
Okay.
he managed to extract the sugar somehow from
the cotton ball?
A cotton ball. There's a trace amount of sugar in. Yeah, I don't know. I had no idea what he's talking about, but it was just fascinating to see someone that's like really smart and really talented and just doing their thing.
That's really cool.
You know?
I feel like when I watch YouTube, it's generally for entertainment's sake, not for using my brain.
Well, it's entertainment because I didn't learn anything. I don't know how to make cotton balls into cotton candy still, but it was just I guess entertainment of watching someone that's really good at what they do.
Yeah,
I guess.
that makes sense. So then those are some of the channels that you watch, and that's YouTube specific. But for social media, how do you use social media other than just watching some YouTube videos?
That's probably like the primary use of social media for me. Like, and I would define YouTube still as social media. Like, it's kind of like that weird.
Yeah.
Because you're consuming content for the most part on YouTube. Most people are consuming content. Versus, like, people comment, and obviously people actually post stuff, but most people are just consuming it. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
right?
It does.
But it's still obviously social media.
It depends, too, how you use it. Like, I think before I was on YouTube, I wasn't using YouTube as a social media platform. I was using it as a, like,
TV, basically.
No, I didn't even use it. I just mean if there was a recipe that I watched the video. It was solely just for those specific videos and that information.
Just,
It didn't rabbit trail me into other videos.
Just for learning that specific thing, like how do I do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I used it prior to, like 3 years ago. That's how I was using it. But it can be a social media platform for some people, depending how you use it.
I don't use it, I guess. I don't know if I've ever commented on a video.
Probably not.
I'm trying to remember. I probably haven't. So, but I guess, yeah, I like to watch videos.
Yeah.
But, and then even, yeah, I guess I'm kind of a consumer of social media and not really, at least lately, I don't really post to Instagram. Every once in a while, I'm like, oh, I should probably maybe try to post there, and then I post a picture or two, and then I forget about it for a while.
And then Facebook.
And Facebook, I don't really post things there. I share things very infrequently.
How's your TikTok?
I still don't really know what TikTok is, but no, that's not true. I know what it is. I think I know what it is.
Still have never signed up for it.
No.
Or there's a new one.
Oh.
What's the new thing? I don't know. Snapchat, I've never.
Snapchat, no, I stopped after Instagram, I think.
That's where we peaked in social media, and then we got too old.
I'm too old for all the other things, yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally there too.
I used to use Twitter.
Oh yeah.
But
Twitter.
It got worse and worse all the time. I found Twitter was the easiest one to get sucked into people arguing, or just not that I would argue with people because I didn't post anything, but yeah, it was just
reading people arguing.
Yeah.
Yes, I forgot about Twitter. I have a million Instagram accounts and only really use one of them now, and I still only post a couple times a month, and it's just a book that I'm reading.
Yeah.
I don't really post any personal stuff on my personal Instagram anymore. Instagram after 2020, it changed in 2020.
What changed in... Because wasn't it before that? I feel like I stopped using Instagram when they changed it so that it wasn't chronological anymore.
That was a big change, yeah.
And all of a sudden you just kept seeing random other people's... not people that you follow and stuff not in order, and it just got... I don't know, it got harder to follow and I got less interested in it, and I think other people that I followed... Because I only really follow people that I know.
Yeah.
Other than, now, I might follow a few other people or pages of websites or whatever that I'm interested in. But it used to be just, oh, those are my friends. Mm-hmm. And you could see the stuff they posted.
And you'd scroll until you were caught up and then you were good to go. Yeah, no, 2020, I feel like, though, Instagram also became political, very Twitter-esque.
Oh.
And that changed things. It went from, Instagram being a community where it was encouraging. You'd post things and people would say positive things, to, oh, why aren't you posting about this political issue that's going on right now? Mm. And I'd be like, well, this is a homeschool channel. That's not related to what I'm posting about. And that just sucked the joy out of it.
Yeah.
And Facebook, I have it, but I haven't used it for years. I go on a couple fostering pages, local fostering pages, check my messages once a month, and that's it. I
feel like Facebook now has almost become kind of that you use it when you need to kind of thing. If I'm looking something up, I want to know something from a business and their website is terrible, then you go on their Facebook and try to find the information there, because often they at least will have somewhat relevant information there. But I don't, again, none of my friends really post anything to Facebook anymore. Very few. And so it ends up just being a feed of ads. Yeah. And random...
political, things people have shared.
Yeah, that's not so much. I think I've blocked some people that frequently shared all of the politicalized stuff because I just got sick of seeing it for a while.
See, I use the Chrome extension Newsfeed Eradicator, so when I log into Facebook, I don't see a news feed. Mm. And I've been using that for 5 years or more. So I feel when I use Facebook, it's to search something. Yeah. Or sometimes to message neighbors.
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, even that I don't use very much because I don't have Facebook on my phone.
Yeah.
unless I log in on the browser, which I never do anyway because I don't want to be on there. But
yeah, you made it like purposely inconvenient so that it's not just a waste of time, right?
Yeah.
Or like there's nothing, yeah. That's what helped with Twitter, because I felt like I was still using it when I had the app. Not that I actually wanted to, but you just kind of get into the habit of like, oh, let's see what's on here.
Yeah.
And then I uninstalled it and it became annoying, and now I just don't really check it anymore, which is probably a good thing, because if it's just annoying, then it's not really worth going there, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were on Facebook before I was, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like,
I was
quite a while
I was
before.
the first person. There was one other person I knew on Facebook. I joined Facebook because a girl that I was au pairs with in England joined, and she wanted to like keep up with my life.
And you didn't live close enough where it was easy to...
Yeah, she lives a few provinces over, or did. And so that's why I joined, and nobody around me that I knew of even had Facebook. That was early 2007.
Yeah, I have no idea when I would have joined. I think I was pretty resistant for quite a while.
Yeah, I don't even...
But I don't know when I would have...
Like, there was nobody on Facebook at first.
No.
I don't know how it really snowballed. But it's changed. It used to be you share a picture of something that's going on in your day, or it wasn't even a lot of pictures to begin with. It was just posts.
Isn't it like status updates? Isn't that supposed to be a thing?
But if Facebook started out as a way for me to keep in touch with somebody from afar, but now I keep it because it's a way to keep in touch with people that live around here.
That's true. That is the struggle with social media, because often I feel like I want to just delete all of my accounts because I don't really use them that often. I feel like it's very easy to get into the habit that it starts wasting your time because you're just kind of like mindlessly scrolling things. And so it feels like, well, I should just delete this, right? But then that's kind of where people are, right? So you're kind of cutting yourself off from people's lives in some way. Like, not to say that social media should replace your like actual human interaction with your friends, but the reality is that people are engaged in different social media stuff, and so if you cut yourself off from that, it's, I guess, I don't know, maybe sometimes harder to relate to people or connect with people.
Well, and I like it for people that we live by that we don't really know, like so like our neighbors. Yeah. We see each other outside, we talk, but it can be harder to, like, we don't text each other, so if there's something going on in the neighborhood, we can message each other on Facebook. It's like it's personal, but it's not like so personal that we have each other's phone numbers.
So like a little bit stepped back, like,
yeah.
Because Facebook, you're friends with, well, some people are friends with anybody they've met ever, and so there's like, there's like it's another layer back from being someone that you text, I guess.
One of the downsides that I found for something like Facebook, especially because people just assume everybody's on Facebook. So they post something, oh, we got a new puppy or whatever, and then they expect everybody to already know that they have a new puppy. So when you ask somebody, oh, what's new? Then they say nothing because they put it on social media and they assume that you've seen it. And I do the same thing. Like, I never know what people have seen of what I post, so I never know how much to update people.
It's like you don't know what people know about you and don't know about you because there's some stuff out there, but they might not have seen it. So social media also lets you get more connected with groups that you might not have been able to connect with otherwise, right?
Yeah.
Like, make connections even locally, because there's groups of people that share similar interests and hobbies or whatever that you might not have known that people have the same interests even within your city.
Yeah, like a few years ago, I started a classics book club based with people around me that I only knew. I think one of the people that came into the group, and the other people were just random people that saw it and were like, yeah, I want to read some classics. Yeah.
And so you're actually able to like build relationships with people that you would have never been able to meet otherwise. And the same as, I guess, I had there was a board game club going on pre-COVID that I found out about because of the Facebook group, I think, that was created. Yeah. I think so. Yeah, it was all run through Facebook, and so then I wouldn't have been able to get involved with that or meet any of those people without actually knowing. And then it turns out like some of the people were people that lived down the street.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have actually met them in that same way without having that connection.
You wouldn't have known that you had that same interest.
Yeah.
Because it's not really something that just, do you play board games? You don't really lead with that very often.
I usually don't, no.
Very often.
It'd be weird.
Yeah. Yeah, so it has some definite benefits to opening up doors, even if you like meet somebody and you become friends with them like on Facebook or Instagram or something, and you can look through and see some stuff that they're interested in and see if you have like any connections, any things you can create a deeper relationship, friendship from the things that you're interested in.
You can get to know people, and you can, I guess, allow people to get to know you a bit too, with if you're actually sharing things.
Yeah.
I guess. I just find it's a difficult line with social media where like there's so many drawbacks that are involved with a lot of it. But it's really like any tool, I guess, right? Like you really have to be careful in how you use it. It has to be really purposeful a lot of the time, or otherwise you can get into that like just time wasting, or even into the negativity of all, just commenting on things just to be mean to people, or like all that kind of stuff that goes on. Arguing with people on the internet typically doesn't really have a super good outcome.
That's one thing I just never get. It's like, just if you don't agree, just click away. Like, if you don't want to watch somebody's YouTube video, why give it a thumbs down? Just stop watching. Because that's one part I just don't understand. But I get that there's people out there that are just wanting to spread their negativity.
Well, some people just like to argue, or just, cause drama. I think as a Christian, though, it's hard also to, like, when do you comment and when do you not comment when you disagree with something that someone has posted, right? Because...
Well, I think there has to be a relationship there. Like, if you don't know the person, getting into an argument on Facebook or wherever isn't going to be helpful.
Just going into the YouTube comment section of some video that you disagree with their theological standpoint, and just kind of just... It's not really probably going to bring a lot of positives. Yeah,
and like it even makes me think of some YouTube comments I've gotten before. These are not like Christian related, but I've had some people say, when you play music when you're talking, it makes it hard for me to hear. But there are people that have commented before, so I'm like, okay, I'll take that into consideration.
Yeah.
And then I have other people that jump in, they've never commented before, and they say, you talk too fast. I would like your channel better if you didn't talk so fast. It's like, well, yes, I do talk fast, I realize this, but also, without that relationship, I don't really value your comment.
Yeah.
Like,
it doesn't have the same weight as someone that you've actually like interacted with before, and you know where they're coming from, and they're not just trying to be nitpicky. They're actually someone that cares.
If the first and only comment you have ever said is a negative, or like that's when you decide to start saying something, then that's not going to be taken with much weight.
Yeah.
And so I think the same for if we are disagreeing with something on the internet, if we're just jumping in and that's the only thing we're doing is just like being negative all the time, that's not really going to be helpful.
It's funny because it's like the same as if you would know somebody in real life, right? Like if you're talking to somebody in real life and they say something that you disagree with, I don't know, you might not necessarily just like, you're not going to just jump down their throat and be like really combative about it. Or most people aren't, I guess. Some people might be, but...
Yeah.
But once you've built that relationship, then you can kind of start to have those kind of conversations more easily, and I don't know, I guess.
Yeah, well, and even like the sermon today, we were talking, because we were working through Proverbs, and he was talking about, what was this, some kind of honesty.
Yeah, gentle honesty.
Gentle honesty was what he was talking about. And yes, you can be honest, but gentle, but it also does involve some kind of relationship.
Yeah.
Before you start saying things.
Yeah, because that's in the context of a friendship, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not like you have to agree with everything everybody says all the time. But I think you do have to be careful in when you choose to engage in the things that you disagree with, I guess. Because you don't want to be like, oh yeah, that's that Christian person that just argues on the internet all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's not helpful.
That's why so many Christians, or like Christians, have such a bad rap, because there are so many people out there that say, well, I'm a Christian, so this is wrong. And maybe that is wrong, but that's not the way to go about it.
Not a loving or beneficial way to approach that. But in the same vein, then it's hard because it's hard to engage in a way that, like, because you have to be careful with how you engage with people. You have to be careful of, like, how much how much time, I guess, you spend engaged in social media type things, because it can be a time suck. Like, you can, like, it's designed literally to just make you want to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll.
I have a thing I've put on myself that for YouTube videos, unless this person has, I don't have an exact number, but unless they've got like 200,000 subscribers, I have to comment on every video I watch. Because I want it to be I want to be part of the community. I want to be an encouragement.
Yeah.
And okay, it's like maybe not every single video I watch. Sometimes I'm washing the dishes and I don't. But I try to comment on every video that I watch. Unless they have a ton of subscribers and my voice is not very, like... Unless
you figure they're probably not reading the comments anyway.
Yeah, like that. Yeah,
We've got to staff people for that.
I don't have that kind of... I don't have that for myself for like Instagram or Facebook or anything like that, because I feel like they're different. But if I'm spending 10 plus minutes watching somebody talk about something, or they're sharing something, or they're giving free information or free entertainment, I want to at least say thank you in some way by having some kind of comment on whatever it was that they were doing.
Well, as someone that posts YouTube videos, I'm sure that's like, you're more aware of that. Like, I wouldn't have necessarily thought about that, but I'd be more encouraging for, that channel that has, 2,000 subscribers or 500 subscribers, if, hey, like, someone commented on my video, someone's actually, like, engaging.
Yeah.
It's a very small percentage of people that will actually comment on a YouTube video, right? And so that those people are, well, either they like to just cause trouble and make dumb comments, or they're actually engaged in the channel, and there is kind of that relationship there, I guess.
Yeah. So, leave a comment. Something encouraging. There's a task.
Or start a fight.
No, please don't. I do delete comments that are hurtful, because if I don't, they stay at the top of like comments you haven't responded to, and then you keep seeing those comments. See them all the time. So they get deleted. Yeah. Because I have very thin skin, and I don't want to keep seeing those comments. So overall, nasty comments weighed with like good comments. Do you think it'd be better if social media wasn't a thing? Like, if nobody had invented a way to make this kind of interaction happen? Are the benefits worth the drawbacks? I think the benefits are worth the drawbacks. I have met so many people, like, and some of them have become pen pals, and we've like had other conversations outside, and I feel like even though I have a YouTube channel that's about books, I can go deeper with people. I think it's worth it. But there are some times where I'm like, I should take a month off of social media and just go live in the woods for a month. Like, just cut everything out for a month. But I do think that the benefits, especially if you're using it intentionally. Yeah. I think it's basically like the internet as a whole. You could probably say the same thing. Like, because there's so much garbage that has come because of the internet. Yeah. Or not maybe because of, but has been magnified by the internet. But there's also so much good that's come out of it, like just the connectivity with people, building relationships, but also like, like learning things, and the amount of resources available for all kinds of things. Yeah, homeschooling. Yeah. General education, so many things. Yeah, I mean, you can learn how to do just about anything that you want to, which is great. But yeah, like you said, like you have to be intentional about it, and it's like any tool that you have to be, it's like a really dangerous power tool. Like, you need to be aware of what you're doing when you're doing it, and you need to make sure you're like being safe, I guess, when you're engaging in social media. Yeah. And then also guarding your time and making sure it's not all taken up by social media. Yeah. And that's part of like using it, I guess, safely or wisely, really, I guess is the right way to put it, maybe.
because yeah, there's a lot of dangers there, but there's like used well, there's a lot of benefits as well. And yeah, like you've mentioned, the book videos and relationships you've built off of that, and it's like you'll get people commenting that aren't Christians, but know who you are based on kind of your channel and what you've recommended for books and stuff in different videos, and then they're asking you questions about things, or asking you for like, hey, what's some good music to listen to, or like you started to see some of that stuff happening, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I definitely deferred to you for the music. I don't know. I did start listening to some music since last week, though.
Yes, I've noticed.
Yeah. Nothing amazing yet, though. Nothing amazing to report. But yeah, there are, even when you are on social media in a, like, not specifically trying to be on a Christian platform, like, not trying to be a Christian booktuber, exactly. Like, I'm not just reading Christian books. I'm not just trying to reach Christian people. It's amazing the conversations that can come up.
I guess in many ways, though, like, as far as, like, comments and relationships within social media, it's not that different than real life. Like, in person, like, if you treat it that way, that's probably how you should treat it. Like, you wouldn't just go, yell at somebody.
No, I try to keep
right?
the comment, the way I comment, the way I act in real life.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just remember that like, there's people behind, those names that you're commenting on their post or their video or their images or whatever, right? Like, we have the opportunity now to build relationships with people that are on the other side of the world, or maybe even better, in some ways better, build relationships with people that are across the street by getting to know them, their interests and stuff.
Yeah.
But ultimately, there's people behind there that we need to remember, that we need to love.
And everything we say is a witness.
Yeah.
Everything we put out there, like, whether it's a post that we write or a video or just a comment that we put on someone else's thing that they've shared.
Yeah.
We represent Christ in everything that we do.
Yeah, which is it's a weighty thing to think about, but that's good. Like, you should really feel that weight every time you're about to, comment on somebody that is irking you by what they posted, or right? Because how many times it's just like you see something and you're like, oh, I want to comment on this so badly. Yeah. It's like, you know what? If I were to, I probably wouldn't be doing it in a loving way right now, and so then maybe you need to, step back and give it some time.
Yeah.
So you can formulate a better.
Cool down.
Yeah. I guess I should probably comment on videos sometimes.
See, the kind of videos that you watch, like these maker videos, I'm assuming they have tons of subscribers.
Most of them have like 7 million subscribers or whatever. Yeah. So that's a little different.
It's just a little more than I have.
But I'm trying to think. There's probably some smaller channels that I...
Sometimes it's fun to seek out the smaller channels and be an encouragement. I do that sometimes with booktubers. I mean, I try to find ones that have like general interests that are similar to mine, because to comment on people's videos when they have completely different interests, it's hard. But it's fun to find those smaller ones and be the person that kind of encourages them and keeps them going, because...
No, that's a really good point. Like, to move away from just like consuming stuff to actually then, like, if you're going to consume what they've posted, then like be an encourager, be someone that actually like lifts people up instead of adding to the negativity of the... And
like, I mean, a view counts. It helps things, but it doesn't... It's not as much of encourage,ment as a positive comment.
Not as weighty as someone actually sending you, specifically commenting and saying like, hey, this was great, or whatever. Yeah, and that's a good way to be that thankful encourager, to be a good witness, because it's like, hey, like you made something that I enjoyed. Yeah. And if someone did that in real life, you would say thank you. And yes. So that makes sense. I will try to comment on the video.
We have to tally.
I'll have to find some small YouTube channels now.
Find some small YouTube channels. See how many videos you watch. See how many comments you leave. You don't have to write this all down. It's okay.
Scorecard.
Yeah, and then you're more Christian if you get more check marks.
That's how that works.
Yeah. No, just kidding. So if you guys want to be an encouragement, I mean, like, this is perfect.
If we just guilted everybody into leaving a comment.
Either they'll leave the thumbs down because they can't leave a negative comment.
Well, they will, but it'll just get deleted.
Yeah. So a thumbs down is the only way to say you didn't like this video. If you didn't like this video, I guess you can leave a thumbs down. If you liked it, or you feel guilty, please leave a comment.
Not if you feel guilty. Or maybe, I guess.
As long as it's a positive comment.
Yeah.
We don't care about the guilt. No, just kidding. Okay, while you guys are leaving comments, let us know if there's like specific topics that we should talk about while we are currently in this bridge, on this bridge. I don't know if it's like a suspension bridge. Are we swaying?
We have no idea how long the bridge is, or what type it is,
or if we will fall
or
off.
if it ends on land, or just kind of somewhere in the middle.
Okay, yeah. But let us know if there's something you want us to talk about while we're on this bridge.
That might help.
And then maybe
with the
beyond.
bridge.
Yeah.
Actually.
Thanks for being here, guys.